Brad, let's head over to the ACC and what could be another great matchup that leads to a conference championship spot. Number 25, Miami Hurricanes, go on the road to play the undefeated number 12 North Carolina Tar Heels. This is a 7:30 kickoff on ABC. North Carolina currently favored in this one by 3.5 points, and ESPN.com gives them a 61.5% chance to win this game. We know what Tyler Van Dyke can do when he's on the mark. When he's playing lights out, he can really light up the scoreboard. He hasn't really done much of that this year. 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, over 1,300 yards. Not terrible, but I don't think it's what we expected from a veteran quarterback like himself. On the other side of the ball, struggling at quarterback as well, Drake May, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, over 1,600 yards. Again, not terrible, but not what we expected either. Drake May lost a lot of weapons last year on offense. They weren't able to replace him. They get Jazz Walker. They get him in the transfer portal. He was ineligible for the Kent State.
Kent State.
I knew it was somewhere up there in the MAC conference, in the MAC action. But yeah, they get him back. Finally, this will be his first full game with full reps with Drake May. You have to think that's going to make a big, big difference in this one. But, Brad, I'll hand it over to you. Like I said, Miami coming off of a horrible loss against Georgia Tech. I don't even know what to say about that. Brad, I'll turn it over to you. Do they bounce back? Who wins this ACC matchup?
That you said it, embarrassing. I mean, it's inexplicable the kind of loss that Miami had last Saturday night. And, I was shocked. Nate, you brought up a really good point. Trez Walker finally eligible for North Carolina. And you said this a second ago. Drake May's been good. He has not been, I wouldn't say elite like everyone thought he was going to be. I still think he's the second best quarterback in the country. I still think he's very good. But the numbers have not necessarily reflected that. But I think having a guy like Trez Walker back, is going to be a big, big difference. He's a big physical receiver, a jump ball guy that, I really, really think this could, we might see the Drake May of last year start to come out. I say all that to say, give me the Tar Heels. I think Miami is reeling. And North Carolina, ever since that close win against App State, they've looked really, really good. They really put it on Syracuse last week. I think North Carolina has got something building. And I tell you what, Nate, we talked about this, but the ACC is looking interesting. You got Duke only at 1-0, but Duke, North Carolina 2-0, Florida State 3-0, Louisville 3-0. The ACC is wide open, and I think North Carolina gets a win Saturday night. And the close to the ACC is going to be super entertaining, super, super entertaining.
Yeah, Brad, and if Miami comes away with this one, they could jump back into it as well.
Absolutely.
They're still 4-1. They're 0-1 in the conference, but they're only lost to Georgia Tech so far. They beat a good A&M team. But on the other side, like you said, the Tar Heels have really taken care of business over the last 4 weeks. And they beat South Carolina in week 1. So they've had a really good run, averaging 500 yards on offense. A little disappointing on defense. I think one of the big stats that sticks out to my eyes is North Carolina's run defense, giving up 118 yards. That's a little high compared to other teams. When you look at Miami, they're only giving up 58 yards per game.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is a tough one because part of me wants to take Miami in a bounce-back game, but I'm going to take the Tar Heels in a really, really close one. Don't be surprised if this one goes into overtime. I think this could be one of those good old-fashioned ACC overtime matchups. And two names to look out for, the running backs in this one, Parrish and Hampton. Parrish playing for the Miami Hurricanes, 379 yards, 4 touchdowns. Hampton playing for the Tar Heels, 461 yards and 7 touchdowns, Brad, on 88 carries. The running backs are going to make the difference in this game. Who's going to run the ball, who's going to turn the ball over, and who's going to come out on top? I'm taking the Tar Heels in a close one.